Have you ever laid in bed at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering why your body just doesn't bounce back like it used to? Maybe you felt tired all day, but somehow you're wide awake at 1 a.m., your mind racing and your legs restless. Or maybe you've noticed that even when you get a full night's sleep, you still wake up feeling stiff, foggy, or drained. You're not alone, and I promise, it's not just getting old. What we do in the evening, those quiet hours between dinner and bedtime, has a bigger impact on our health than most people realize. Especially after 70, when the body becomes more sensitive to routines, rhythms, and rest, the choices we make at night can either protect our longevity or quietly chip away at it. The truth is, many of us are making small but harmful mistakes in the evenings that slowly add up over time. In this video, I want to talk to you like a friend, not to scold or overwhelm you, but to shine a gentle light on the habits that may be holding you back. Because once you become aware of them, you can make small shifts that add years to your life and life to your years. Let's start with something so many people do without thinking: falling asleep in front of the TV. It's comforting, right? You watch a little show after dinner, maybe a movie or the evening news, and before you know it, your eyes start to close. It feels harmless. But here's the thing: drifting off to sleep with the television on, especially with bright lights and noise, confuses your body's natural sleep signals. Your brain doesn't get the memo that it's time to deeply rest. And instead of slipping into the deep, healing sleep your body needs, you're more likely to stay in a lighter, restless state of sleep. Over time, this can mess with your internal clock. It can lead to disrupted sleep cycles, more nighttime wake-ups, and even affect your heart health. You might think, but I can't sleep without the TV on. That's okay. You're not alone, and you don't have to go cold turkey. One small step could be setting a sleep timer on the TV, so it turns off automatically after 30 minutes. Or you could try replacing screen time with something calming. Maybe listening to soft music or a gentle audiobook with the lights dimmed. It's not about giving something up. It's about giving your body what it truly needs. Another even mistake that often sneaks in is late-night snacking, especially on sugary or heavy foods. It's tempting, isn't it? A little bowl of ice cream, a handful of cookies, maybe a slice of leftover cake while watching your favorite program. But here's what happens inside your body. Eating close to bedtime, especially sweets or high-fat foods, can spike your blood sugar right when your body is trying to wind down. Your digestion slows at night, and that late snack can leave you feeling bloated, uncomfortable, or tossing and turning. Even more importantly, your body can't fully repair itself during the night if it's busy digesting food. Your heart rate may stay elevated, and your blood pressure might not drop the way it should during restful sleep. Over time, this habit can lead to increased inflammation, weight gain, and even a higher risk of chronic conditions like diabetes or heart disease. Now, I'm not saying you have to go to bed hungry. That's not healthy either. But if you often reach for something out of boredom or habit, try asking yourself first, am I actually hungry? If you are, go for something light and nourishing, a small piece of fruit, a handful of almonds, or a bit of yogurt. If it's more about comfort or routine, maybe try a cup of warm herbal tea or a few minutes of deep breathing instead. Little changes like this don't take much effort, but they can make a world of difference in how your body feels and functions. And here's something a lot of folks don't realize. Staying too inactive in the evening can be just as harmful as being too active. After dinner, it's easy to settle into a comfy chair and stay there until bedtime. But too much sitting, especially right after eating, can lead to poor digestion, stiffness, and even trouble sleeping. Movement helps your body process food, relax your muscles, and prepare for rest. That doesn't mean you need to do a full workout or go for a run. A gentle 10-minute walk after dinner can work wonders. It can help regulate blood sugar, improve circulation, and even support better mood and sleep. If walking isn't an option, a bit of stretching while watching TV or standing and swaying to soft music can still make a difference. What matters most is that your body doesn't stay stuck in one position for hours. Our bodies were made to move, even just a little. Even these small things, when done consistently, can become powerful tools for aging well. They can shift your evening from something that drains you to something that truly restores you. It's not about being perfect. It's about paying attention, about choosing moments of care over mindless habits. Now that we explored how falling asleep with the TV on, late-night snacking, and prolonged inactivity can quietly harm your health, let's take a look at what other habits may be shortening your lifespan and what you can do about them. Let's talk about something that doesn't always seem like a mistake at first glance: bringing stress into bed with you. It might be subtle. Maybe it's a nagging worry about your health, your children, or just that growing to-do list in your mind. Sometimes it's even the news we watch or the conversations we have right before sleep. But when you go to bed carrying the weight of tension, your body doesn't just lie down and relax. It holds on to that stress, and that tension can linger long after your head hits the pillow. When we're stressed, even in small ways, our body responds by releasing hormones like cortisol, and cortisol is the enemy of rest. It keeps our heart rate elevated, our minds on edge, and it blocks the deep, healing sleep our body craves. Over time, poor sleep caused by stress can wear down your immune system, strain your heart, and even affect your memory. That's not something to take lightly, especially after 70, when every night of rest becomes even more valuable. But here's the good news. You don't have to eliminate all stress to sleep well. Life will always have its worries. What matters is how you end your day. Creating a calming bedtime routine can act like a bridge between the busy world and the quiet of sleep. You could try something as simple as sitting quietly for a few minutes and focusing on your breath, or writing down your thoughts in a journal, so your mind doesn't have to carry them into the night. Even speaking a few gentle words to yourself, something like, "I've done enough for today, now I rest," can shift your body into a state of peace. And over time, that peace becomes a habit. Now, here's a mistake that often goes unnoticed because it seems harmless on the surface: relying too heavily on sleep medications. Many people turn to pills when they have trouble sleeping, and in the short term, it can feel like a blessing. You take something, and you finally get some rest. But over time, especially after 70, those medications can actually start to work against you. Most sleeping pills don't provide natural, restorative sleep. They may knock you out, but they suppress the deeper stages of sleep where your brain and body do their real healing. Plus, they often come with side effects: grogginess in the morning, confusion, or even increased risk of falls, which we all know can be dangerous at this stage in life. And the longer you use them, the more your body relies on them, making it harder to fall asleep without them. That's not to say you should stop cold turkey. Always talk to your doctor before changing anything. But it's worth considering other ways to support sleep. Things like consistent sleep schedules, soft lighting in the evening, or natural supplements like magnesium can be surprisingly effective. You'd be amazed how much your sleep can improve when you gently support your body's natural rhythms instead of forcing it to shut down. And speaking of rhythms, another common mistake is going to bed at wildly different times each night. Maybe one evening you turn in at 9 p.m., and the next you stay up until midnight because you got caught up in a movie or a phone call. When we're younger, our bodies are more forgiving of those shifts. But as we age, consistency becomes key. Your body loves patterns. It thrives on knowing when it's time to rest and when it's time to rise. When your sleep schedule is all over the place, it throws off your internal clock, also known as your circadian rhythm. That rhythm controls so much more than just sleep. It affects digestion, hormone balance, and even your mood. Going to bed and waking up around the same time each day, even on weekends, can train your body to fall asleep faster, sleep more deeply, and wake up feeling refreshed without needing any pills or gadgets. It may seem like a small thing, but this kind of routine tells your body it's safe to let go now. And the more often you send that message, the easier it becomes to relax and restore yourself overnight. Think of it like planting seeds. The more consistent your routine, the stronger your health will grow. These evening choices, while small, shape the quality of your nights and the strength of your days. You deserve sleep that heals you, routines that nourish you, and habits that make you feel calm, not just tired. And while it's true that aging changes the way our bodies sleep and recover, it doesn't mean we're powerless. In fact, this chapter of life is the perfect time to reclaim your evenings as a sacred space, one that prepares you not just for rest, but for a longer, healthier, and more joyful life. When we begin to make peace with the night, with quiet, with slowness, with care. We give our bodies a permission they've been waiting for. And once that happens, everything begins to shift. Our energy, our clarity, even the way we feel in our own skin. Let's keep going and explore what else we might be doing in the evenings, often without even realizing that could be working against us, and what we could do instead to truly support the life we want to keep living. Another evening habit that can quietly chip away at your health is eating too late. Now, I know how comforting a little evening snack can be. Maybe a bowl of cereal, some cookies, or just a bite of something sweet while watching TV. And at first, it feels innocent. But when your digestive system has to stay active late into the night, especially as your body is trying to wind down, it ends up working overtime when it should be resting. You see, our digestion naturally slows down in the evening. After 70, this slowdown becomes even more pronounced. Eating close to bedtime can disrupt your sleep, lead to indigestion, and even cause spikes in blood sugar overnight. Over time, this doesn't just affect your sleep quality. It can increase the risk of heart disease, weight gain, and even cognitive decline. And if acid reflux is something you've dealt with, you know how uncomfortable it can be to lie down after a meal. That burning sensation in the chest isn't just annoying, it's your body waving a red flag. One simple shift that can make a big difference is giving your body at least 2 to 3 hours between your last meal and bedtime. That gives your system time to process the food, settle your stomach, and prepare for rest. And instead of something heavy or sugary, if you do need a little something in the evening, choose a light, calming option, maybe a banana, some warm herbal tea, or a handful of almonds. These choices not only help you sleep better, but also support your heart, your brain, and your waistline in the long run. Now, let's turn to a mistake that isn't just physical, it's emotional. And that's ending the day feeling disconnected or lonely. This one is especially common after 70. The house might be quieter. The phone doesn't ring as often. The days can feel longer, and the evenings even more so. It's easy to find yourself sitting in front of the television, watching something just to fill the silence, without really feeling connected to anyone or anything. But here's the truth. Our emotional health is just as important as our physical health, and loneliness can be just as dangerous. Studies have shown that chronic loneliness can increase the risk of heart disease, depression, and even shorten lifespan. It impacts the immune system, sleep quality, and can slowly wear down your motivation to take care of yourself. And the hard part is, it often builds up without us noticing until it feels too heavy to name. That's why it's so important to bring a little intentional connection into your evenings, even if it's something small. Maybe it's a quick phone call to a friend or a relative. Maybe it's writing a letter or message to someone you haven't spoken to in a while. If you live with a partner, it might be sitting together quietly with a cup of tea and simply sharing how your day felt. And if you live alone, consider keeping a gratitude journal. Writing down just 3 good things from your day can shift your entire emotional state. It helps remind you that even on the quietest nights, you are not alone in this world. Connection isn't always about crowds or constant chatter. Sometimes it's just about feeling seen and heard, even if it's just by yourself. Those moments of reflection, of reaching out, of simply being present, they're like gentle medicine for the soul. And here's something else I want you to remember. You are still growing. You are still evolving. Just because you're in your 70s or beyond doesn't mean life stops moving. Your evenings can still be rich, meaningful, and filled with purpose. Maybe that means reading something that inspires you. Maybe it means praying, meditating, or just listening to music that brings you peace. This time of life is not an ending. It's a quieter, deeper beginning. And the way you treat your evenings can be a beautiful reflection of the care and wisdom you've gathered over the years. So tonight, when the sky turns dark and the world begins to slow down, I hope you pause for a moment, not to rush into bed with a noisy mind or a full stomach or a lonely heart, but to honor yourself. Light a candle, breathe deeply, do one thing that feels nourishing. And remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being kind to your body, your mind, and your spirit, especially now. You've made it this far, and you deserve evenings that aren't rushed or careless, but calm and intentional. Even 1 or 2 small changes can transform how you sleep, how you heal, and how long and how well you live. Let's take a moment to finish strong, with a few final thoughts that tie everything together and remind us that it's never too late to take back your health, one peaceful evening at a time. Now that we've walked through some of the most common evening habits that can quietly chip away at your well-being, I want you to take a deep breath and let this truth settle in. It's never too late to shift your habits, renew your energy, and reclaim your evenings. You're not stuck in old patterns, and you don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. You just need to start gently, consistently, and that begins with awareness. When you choose to honor your evenings, you're not just adding days to your life. You're adding life to your days. That quiet time before bed isn't a throwaway moment. It's a window of power, a space where healing happens, where your body resets, where your heart and mind can rest. And those small adjustments, turning off the TV a little earlier, choosing a light snack instead of a heavy meal, avoiding emotional overload before bed, reaching out to someone you love, those aren't minor details. They are acts of self-respect. I know life after 70 can bring changes that aren't always easy. Maybe your body doesn't move the way it used to. Maybe your sleep has changed. Maybe loved ones have moved away or passed on. But even in the midst of all that, you still have more control than you think. You can still write new chapters. You can still protect your health, nourish your spirit, and make choices that lift you up instead of weighing you down. And here's something I hope you hold on to. You matter. Your health matters. Your peace matters. When you care for yourself, not out of guilt or pressure, but out of love, you show the world that growing older is not about decline. It's about becoming more in tune, more grounded, more alive than ever. Every evening is a chance to choose differently, to let go of habits that no longer serve you and lean into ones that bring rest, joy, and longevity. Maybe you'll start by dimming the lights an hour earlier, or maybe tonight you'll skip the late-night news and play calming music instead. Maybe you'll finally take that step to create a wind-down routine, a warm shower, a few stretches, or simply 5 minutes of quiet gratitude. Whatever it looks like for you, start small. Pick one habit. Make it yours. Let it become a ritual that reminds your body it's safe, that the day is done, and that tomorrow is waiting, full of possibility. And don't keep this journey to yourself. If something in this video spoke to you, share it with a friend. Let them know they're not alone either. Sometimes just knowing someone else is walking the same path makes all the difference. I'd love to hear what changes you plan to make, or have already made, in your evenings. Let's keep this a place of encouragement and inspiration. So if you're comfortable, leave a comment below and tell us, what's one thing you do at night that helps you feel better the next day? And if this video helped you in any way, give a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We're building a space for seniors who want to live well, live strong, and live with joy, no matter their age. You are not fading, you're evolving. You've gathered wisdom, resilience, and strength. Your story is still unfolding, and you deserve every good night's rest, every peaceful evening, and every healthy tomorrow that comes your way. Here's to brighter evenings, deeper sleep, and longer, more vibrant years ahead. Take care of yourself. You've earned it.